Hey everyone, and welcome back here from the MLG studios in New York City. The sun in the sky looks beautiful behind me. But Bio has a nice blue background, so it kind of works out really well. How's it going, guys? Golden Boy and Bioacid here. And we're bringing you JusTus going up against Sigma. We just saw Sigma just absolutely take control of their last matchup against Final Boss. This time around, facing off against one of the teams that's participating in the MLG Call of Duty League heading into PAX East, JusTus. I don't think that they're going to have an easy time against this team.
It'll be interesting to see, obviously some names that are pretty well known in the scene from the JusTus team, and Sigma is, like we said, doing a very good job against Final Boss moments ago. So it's going to be interesting what happens in this best out of 5 series. First of 3 will take out the victory there, and you'll see, I think we should start things off with the JusTus team.
All right, well, let's go ahead and do this. As I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the JusTus squad and see, what they're going to be doing off the break. Of course, Stainville, Neslo, Tipsy, and Gucci. Tipsy and Gucci have been the duo for this JusTus roster. As things are going to be breaking out, let's go ahead and jump over here to Tipsy, who's going to go right away after the A domination point. On the other side, Neslo, he's going to be taking a look over by Pawn. He's going to be on top of the top Pawn truck there. See if he can find anyone. There's going to be a player challenging him around the corner. He's going to get taken out, though. No player is pushed over toward B just yet, which is exactly what we would expect here, as both teams, I should say, are trying to get a feel for one another. Gucci able to find one. That's going to be a connection. And B is finally going to go and get capped here, but Gucci's going to be there for the stop, managing to pick that one up. Beautiful shots there with that MTAR, and now that's going to open up B. There is going to be a player, though, on the left, though, by Pawn Shop, so they need to be wary about that one, but it seems like he's going to be halfway to capping it. He won't have the help. 4 down, though, for JusTus as Sigma hop on it, and here we see yet again Sigma just taking control of the match with 4 down.
You've got to notice that huddle as well over here on the A flag, just capped it, so that's going to be a trip cap in Sigma's favor. Great play indeed. So while they pick up that B flag, they can risk to lose A. You'll just see now JusTus all swarming for that A flag to try and gain it back, but it's all points. And Spacely on a full kill streak right now for his team, and he's going to come up in this A flag once again, looking for someone, finds one in front of him. It's going to be Tipsy, who was trying to throw on a Hail Mary nade up and over. Humvee's shots come out, but Gucci picking up the kill there on him that time.
Yeah, and, when we talked a little bit in the break, though, I had a chance to speak with Ron and, the production team back here about, a lot of these players and, just talking about Spacely and like, who are going to be those players that when, like you and I talked about earlier, Bio, when they become of age, man, they're going to be, that's it. They're going to be massive, massive successes in the Call of Duty scene. And we're looking at 3 of these players right now with Spacely, Huddle, and TJ. On the other side, with Bloods, he's already with, he's already made it to champs. But I've known Bloods for quite a while, and he's also always been that guy that just, he's a talented kid. But in any case, though, looking back at this action and taking a look at JusTus here, they are struggling right now, 44-12. That is not a number that I would have expected to see here in this Domination Octane matchup, Bio.
You'll just, as you mentioned, these guys are really showing what they're made of. Sigma took out A flag once again. It was Spacely who made it neutral, actually capping it for a trip cap and just dominating the JusTus crew. So JusTus trying to dig deep now. You can see Neslo on a 3-point streak, as is Tipsy, and they're trying to flank around the back. Neslo was trying to come out back there of Diner. He did get picked up, and he's trying to now sneak around here towards the front. They do have to try and at least make C or B neutral. This has stopped so many points going in favor of Sigma right now. It's 60-20. It's a 40-point game with 2 minutes left here in the first half, and they're just struggling, it seems.
And they keep on losing players. I mean, you see a lot of times where they're playing with a man down or 2 man down, and then you would see the occurrence that has happened at least 3 times now, where you have 3 men down, but Gucci just starting things up lovely, picking up a double kill there on Spacely and TJ. Now, it seems like they're going to be going after B, and finally we might see JusTus on the back of Gucci be able to get some momentum and make something happen here. Gucci going to find a player up top by Broken, able to connect with that one. That was going to be Bloods there, looking over by C. He is finally going to get taken out, but he was on a great run. His duo Tipsy was on a 4-point streak. He gets dropped, and again, that same story that we talked about, that I mentioned, I should say, just a second ago. 3 down. That's the 4th time I've seen 3 down here for JusTus. They've just been playing a man down every single time they try and make a play happen, and it's been affecting them, and you see it reflect in that score.
You quickly see them going for that B flag. They've made it neutral, couldn't grab it all the way though. JusTus just shut them down. The 4 players down there while JusTus head back to the B flag to regain control of it. And just like that, they've done so. It's still a 40-point game though here in the first half, just under a minute remaining. And it just seems that JusTus, you know, they have picked up their form towards the end here. But like you said, their 3 downs just keep happening and happening over and over again. So while they do regain control, it's not for very long.
Well, so long as they can continue to cut into that lead, that's going to be more important than anything, right? I mean, Neslo just needs to, for the next 30 seconds, defend B with his life, right? And unfortunately, his life is taken rather abruptly as Gucci. We're going to be jumping on board with him. But basically, they just need to hold this for the next 20 seconds. They have to just chip away at that lead as much as they possibly can, because they went down by a considerable amount. I think it was like plus 30 at one point at the early part of that game. And this not something that we're used to seeing from JusTus. They're currently going to be down right now by, what is this, going to be 30 points here going into the half. I just don't realistically see them being able to win this one with the way Sigma's playing, but anything's possible in Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah, anything is possible. I've still got another 5 minutes to come back in that second half. And, you know, provided they get up to a good start, that's what's really going to come down to. Now, they will have what some teams would favour the better side, I guess you could say. Obviously, they'll be spawning with the C flag as their home flag. If they can hold C and B and then, you know, push Humvees every now and again and maybe just make A neutral, not so much cap A, but make it neutral to stop points accumulating for Sigma, it's going to help them out to come back and, you know, it'll really help their advantage in that regard. So 31 points the difference, Golden Boy, heading to the second half now on Domination Octane.
30 or 31? I think
31.
It was 31.
93 to 62 was the score.
60. Okay, 91 to 62.
93 to 62.
Oh, okay. That's why they pay you the big bucks, bro. Period. That's it. Yeah. So I mean, again, it's gonna be a tall order here for JusTus to come back from in this domination matchup. They need to have an insanely strong start in order for them to even contend in this one. And based off that first game that we saw and how Sigma is playing, they just know how to control the pace right away. Now, Bio, I gotta ask you, do you think JusTus can do it based off the beginning of the game and how it kind of like unfolded toward the end when JusTus was able to get their bearings together?
Yeah, you know, towards the end, they did pick their game up. If they can come off strong in this second half, I think they can do it. I think it's very reasonably possible for this team. They've only got 3 players spawned in, though, so I'm hoping their 4th player is about to join us as well. And that will be able to have a full 4v4 matchup, but it seems he's a bit delayed. But yeah, I do think they're going to come into this second half a bit stronger, I hope. Because as you said, in the start of that first half, they got off to a very rocky start. It was bad. Towards the end, they did bring it back. They were down by over 45 points, I think, at one stage. To bring it back to a 30-point game, you know, it's good to see that. It'll all depend on how they break out here at the start.
Yep, and let's go ahead and see what's going on with Neslo up on the top by Broken. And this is probably going to be a good position for them to be able to take here. I mean, they are going to have the gas side. And like you mentioned before, it tends to be a little bit more of the favorable side here, especially considering that you can easily pin the other team over by the back and back by a club there, or strip, whichever you prefer to call it, you know, for you naughty people out there. So yeah, I mean, you could very well see JusTus being able to come back, but you know, as you mentioned, it seems like, you know, Sigma again doing what they've been doing at the beginning of that last one. 3 down right away there for JusTus. Tipsy's by himself. Seems like B is being contested. They are going to have players moving in there. They are going to get shut down as B is going to go over to JusTus. Yes, they are able to make that one happen, but again, like we said before, they have to have an insanely strong start because they're down by 31 points.
Yeah, they've got to get that map control as well. They're getting this B flag back in their hands, but then just like that, they had a 3 down before. Now, luckily, Tipsy was staying alive long enough to really help them out. And due to the fact he did stay alive, he kept the guys off that flag. So while the Sigma boys did grab it, they did not hold it for that long.
Yeah,
and, you know, you'll just see now JusTus break away a little bit here. They just got to hold this 2 flag cap, and they'll get that 30 points they need.
Yeah. So long as they can continue to play like this, nothing will stop them from being able to, come back into this lead here. Really looking at Neslo in particular, and as well as Tipsy, to really shine here. Some statistics for you guys as far as domination kill-death ratio comes into play. Tipsy averages about a 1.02 kill-death ratio, but actually gets 4.73 captures per map. So that is a great statistic to have, especially if you are, you're one of those guys that you're a Tipsy fan and you just want to see, a lot of objective play for trying to learn the objective on that one. Top Slayer, though, in the domination category for this team, actually. And here's one that actually is going to surprise quite a few people who have doubted him in the past, is my boy Stainville, as a matter of fact, rocking that 1.13 kill death ratio. He has 3.4 caps per map. And, again, the veteran, showing why he's one of the best in the game. I mean, he actually won the UMG Player of the Year award. So, he's a great player, and it shows right here.
You're just going to see these guys trying to hold down the B and C flags. They are losing C and B at the same time, though. Just like that, JusTus were going to try and push for the A flag to stop it, and they are picking up a few kills as they try and control it. Blood's the last one left on the C flag at the moment. Gets it neutral, but can't hold it down for that long. While JusTus push on up, they managed to hit the A flag as well. So, it's a good play here by the JusTus team, and hopefully in this last 2 minutes, we'll see them hit that 31 points they need to tie it, but then also break away even more. And we should be able to see if they just hold these two flags.
They're really close. They're really close to getting there, Bio. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but they need to stop this player over by B. B has been neutralized. So now you're going to see a 30-point lead here for JusTus. They're just 1 point shy, and with that neutral flag, it is just going to continue to be a point-for-point difference here. But they don't know that there's 3 people on that flag right now. Tipsy trying to put some shots forward, able to take out 2 players. Another one right by the corner. Tipsy is just on fire, but they need to get B. They have 1 minute and 21 seconds to do so. Plenty of time to make something happen here, but Tipsy, such an integral part of this team, and in that play, getting 3 very critical kills. Now let's see if they can capitalize and get B here as the Sigma players have spawned back up. Tipsy with another kill finally gets stopped.
And I don't know if they're going to be able to do it now. 1 minute remaining here. Neslo trying to push up there on the A flag to make it neutral and shut it down. Couldn't do it though. Tipsy off this fresh respawn was the only one up for a little while there. 50 seconds left, and the gap is getting smaller now.
Yep.
Of course, you do have Sigma A and B flags in their hands, and if they're just holding this area down now. And that's what we've seen Sigma do during the first half. When they did have the 2 flag cap, they had map control as well. It was something that JusTus was struggling with a little bit during the first half. Second half, they were doing great, but just like that, Sigma have brought this back here, Golden Boy. 30 seconds left. I think it's too little too late.
I really thought that JusTus was going to be able to come back into this one. I mean, if they get a 3 cap, they might be able to do it, but, I mean, judging by the fact that they just got control of C, I don't think that's going to be the case. The Sigma roster just dominating yet again. And actually, someone mentioned to me on Twitter that the Sigma team that won the 5K last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever, that's not the same roster that's playing today, apparently. But even then, though, maybe it was the COD Champs roster. Okay, but, maybe then, just a lucky name. Right? I mean, let's just go with that, right? Ron, he's agreeing and he's nodding in agreement of doubt, of course, But yeah, there you have it. Sigma able to come out on top on that one. JusTus could not quite do it. Very close, though. Very close, Bio. It was 30 points. It was 1 point differential that Sigma had, and then they were able to fight their way back into it, and they were able to take the W on that.
Yeah, it was a close game indeed. 167 to 146 it finished up with. So a 21-point game, JusTus did try and bring it back there. They were down by 31 points at the end of the first half. So, it brought it back within 10 points.
Was it 10? I thought it was I thought it was 61 to 31 that I saw. So,
I had one.
Well, no. Well, I mean, I'm saying like at 1 point in that second half, it was 61 to 31.
1 point. Yeah, they did. They brought it right, very close at 1 point.
Yeah. But the differential was it was a lot to overcome. I mean, if it was like 15 points, 20 points, we might be singing a different tune here. But when you're talking 30-point differential, that's a tough one to come back
like
from.
You said, they were 1 point away there when that B flag was neutralized, and they just couldn't get back on there after that.
Yeah, for sure. So that is going to do it for Domination on Octane. Next up, Search and Destroy. This is a best of 5, by the way. So we'll see what these players have picked since it is the veto. But we'll be right back in just a little bit with plenty more Call of Duty Ghosts action for your wonderful eyes to consume. I'm Golden Boy. That's Bioacid. We'll be right back.